You know, it's easy to think of our solar system as this safe, predictable place, right? Like a quiet little island in a huge cosmic ocean. But what if I told you that a few million years back, that peace and quiet was almost shattered for good?
Yeah, that's right. 4.5 million years ago, our solar system almost died. Two massive, furious stars passed so close, so incredibly close, that they permanently scarred the space all around us. And you know the crazy part? That scar, the evidence of that near miss, it's still out there. A faint fingerprint left behind from a violent encounter that could have ended everything. So let's dive into this mystery. See, for the longest time, we thought we lived in a pretty quiet, safe corner of the galaxy. Just a nice, calm, cosmic backyard. It was a comforting idea. Turns out, it was completely wrong. Recently, scientists started looking at the space right outside our solar system, and they found something, well, deeply unsettling. The gas out there, the stuff between the stars, was way more energized, way more ionized than it had any right to be. It was like stumbling onto a crime scene, you know? But there was no weapon, and there were no suspects. So what does that even mean, ionized gas? Well, imagine an atom. To ionize it, you have to hit it with so much energy that you literally strip its electrons away. This isn't something that happens gently. You need a massive, staggering blast of energy. We're talking about something on a truly cosmic scale. Okay, so the cosmic detectives, the astronomers, they started rounding up the usual suspects. Could it have been our own sun? Nope, not a chance. It's way too weak. Okay, what about the other stars nearby? Too small, too cool. They even checked out this thing called the local hot bubble, this huge cavern of superheated gas we're flying through. But even that didn't have enough juice. So that left this huge, nagging question. Where did all that energy come from? Something big, something powerful had happened right on our doorstep. But what? To find the answer, they had to go back in time, millions of years into the past. All right, so this is where it gets really cool. To figure this out, astronomers basically became time travelers. They used these incredible computer simulations to rewind the clock on the whole galaxy, reconstructing how stars have moved over millions of years, trying to find the culprits. And sure enough, when they wound the clock back 4.5 million years, they found them. A pair of cosmic intruders. Two stars whose path, all that time ago, brought them dangerously, terrifyingly close to home. Their names? Mirzam and Adhara. Today, they're just two bright stars in the constellation Canis Major, hundreds of light years away. But back then, they were our neighbors, and they were the neighbors from hell. So let's recreate this encounter. We really need to get our heads around just how close this was, and why it was so incredibly dangerous for us. Right now, these stars are over 400 light years away. Totally safe distance. But 4.5 million years ago, they flew past us at a distance of just 30 light years. 30! Look, I know that sounds like a lot, but in cosmic terms, that is a near collision. It's not a close call, it's practically scraping paint. Imagine a freight train roaring past you just inches from your face. That's what this was for our solar system. And we're not talking about two little fireflies here. Look at this. The energy these two stars were putting out, it was insane. Together, they were about 125 times more luminous than our own sun. They made Sirius, the brightest star in our night sky, look like a pocket flashlight. So, who were these killers? They were what we call B-type blue giants. Each one was about 13 times more massive than our sun, and they were pumping out this relentless, brutal flood of ultraviolet radiation. For anyone on Earth at the time, well, they would have been the brightest things in the entire sky, day or night. And that flood of radiation, that's the key. That's what left behind the evidence. It's the fingerprint in space-time that solved the whole mystery, and it's still there for us to see. And here it is. This is the smoking gun. The simulation showed that the radiation from those two stars was just powerful enough to ionize about 20% of the hydrogen and a whopping 40% of the helium gas in our neighborhood. And guess what? Those numbers are a perfect match for what we see out there today. Case closed. But you might be wondering, how could that evidence stick around for millions of years? Well, space is really, really empty. Because the gas out there is so spread out, once those atoms lost their electrons, they almost never bumped into another one to get it back. So that cosmic fingerprint, it was basically frozen in time, just waiting for us to find it. Okay, so this is a great cosmic detective story.
But it's also a terrifying story of our own narrow escape. Because the ionized gas, that was just a warning shot. The real existential danger wasn't the radiation. It was something much more fundamental.
Yeah, the radiation was bad, for sure. But that was just the opening act. The real danger, the thing that could have wiped us out completely, was their gravity. Remember, these things were each 13 times more massive than our sun. Their gravitational pull was just immense. If those two stars had passed just a little bit closer, their gravity would have been catastrophic. I mean, first, it would have messed with the orbits of the planets, maybe flinging Earth out into the frozen darkness of deep space. Even worse, it could have literally grabbed our sun and ripped it from its path, either tearing the whole solar system apart or trapping us in some chaotic, deadly three-star dance.
And the bottom line is, just chillin'. In any of those scenarios, a stable Earth and life as we know it would have been completely impossible. We wouldn't be here, plain and simple. Our very existence is thanks to the fact that these cosmic bullets just barely missed us.
What a discovery, right? It just reminds you that our solar system isn't some isolated, safe little bubble. We live in a dynamic and sometimes incredibly violent galaxy. A difference of just a few light years, a tiny nudge in the cosmic scheme of things, can be the difference between life and total destruction. It really makes you think, our quiet little corner of the universe isn't so quiet after all.